Hello, my name is Yogini Rasa and I'm certified open yoga teacher. And this is the material on what is yoga on one of our steps, and we are going closer to the very mysterious and essential areas of yoga, step by step. And today the topic is yoga terminology. It is closely related with the topic of yoga and freedom that we already discussed, at least in the first perspective, and thereby we are going further. If you are starting to study some yoga materials and yoga texts, then there are probably quite a lot of unknown terminology to you. Like the same in any other, for example, scientific area or math, when they are talking, or the doctors, they are using quite a lot of terminology that is clear only to them. We at the Open Yoga School try hard to avoid difficult Sanskrit terms or to speak language that only professionals of yoga understand, because we want people who are only making their first step in yoga to be clear about the very basics of this teaching, and then for them to decide if they want to take a closer look. But if people are starting to use different terminology, bring the mist over the topic, for some time it is very interesting to listen to them, but then we understand that we understand nothing, and it's kind of wasting of the time. What can we do about it? Let's have a first insight in the basic terminology. And one of the basic terms that we come across is Atma or Atman. And this is absolutely free and unconditional root cause of everything that is in this life. We could talk a lot about this term, but it's beyond the space and time and beyond the different concepts of our mind. Thereby, it's not that easy to understand it. But let's try to make the first steps together and get the closer approximation to it. We don't know what it is. We don't remember. As I told you, this is the root cause why this world actually exists, and it has created us to be equal to it, and it means that we are created to be free. If we had some information prior to coming to this world about our origins, then it's like a software that determines that we are limited. Even if the software is fantastic, advanced, modern, just yesterday released or today, or it's coming tomorrow, it still has the limits of today's understanding or understanding of the yesterday, and absolute or the Atman wanted us to be free, and in some way taking away us the pre-knowledge about where are we coming from and where we are going to. How this all was possible? For one thing to seem something else rather than it is, the Maya was created, and this is that has made this world to look the way it is. And Maya, we could say it's an illusion, a great illusion. Illusion is just a tiny approximation to this term, but it's something to start with, right? Atman as the root cause, why this all has happened and where we are going to, and the Maya, the mean, how this world was created for something that is one seemed to be something else. And this all seems a little bit magic, but we have to start somewhere, and at this moment we just have to understand that we are not whom we think we are. I know it takes a lot of time for understanding, but let's kind of start making small steps. And how this all was possible, the manifestation of the Atma in Maya is Prana. The more prana we have, the more free we become, the stronger we become. We are at the moment limited by prana. I can fly. At the moment, I can't make some people to do something that I would like them to do because I'm limited. And there probably are some other reasons or principles in my life that would not bring me to do just as I wanted to, or somebody asked me to, or would have paid money for. But the more people explore themselves, the closer they get to the notion of their Atma, the more prana they get, and the stronger and more free they become. And if you want to expand your freedom, you have to help the others to expand their freedom. We also talked about this in our previous classes and lessons in materials, that it's impossible to make your freedom to expand by shrinking or limiting the freedom of others. Thereby, in order for you to become more free, you have to help others to become more free. And this is also quite complicated concept that we will discuss later. But yes, the more prana you have, the more freedom you get, the closer to your Atma you get. And this is the concept when everybody is getting more free rather than just one individual is doing that. That's a good thing to keep in mind. Then we come closer to the one more term, that is Dharma or Dharma, as it's spelled, Dharma. This concept is the path of the life when we the most use the first and the second principle of yoga. And as you remember, it's the principle of kindness and principle of common sense. These are the very essential footholds that we are holding on, that all our teaching is based on them. And the more you go further, the more you see that by observing these two principles, your freedom is expanding. Of course, how we are able to fulfill these principles at the very much extent depend on our life situation, previous experience. Maybe we sometimes think that we are kind, but in reality, we bring more harm than we are doing good. Thereby, try to at this moment, if it's possible, to meditate on these principles, just to get the closer understanding on them. Some people say that these two principles come opposite to each other and conflict very much when our karma is bad. So we had Dharma and now it's karma. It's Karma, and a lot of people have heard it. This is the kind of popular term for the people to use, even if they have no understanding of yoga. They're just often using, oh, you have good karma or bad karma. Karma is nothing beyond the logic. It's a completely logical thing. It's the cause and the consequences. If you have done something, then there will be some kind of result. And in between there can be some delay for the previous consequences to come into effect. People around you actually are the part of your karma. They also are free. And you would say, well, I am free and I don't want them in my universe, in my world. Turns out that you have invited them to be there, and for some time you will probably have to spend time together and fix whatever is there between you in more positive and or negative ways at the moment, and you have to come to a different level and perception. In our world we have different laws. And the fantastic lawyers or lawyers from the guard are those ones who are applying this principle for expanding of freedom of all living beings there. And they are working quite a lot. If they really can expand the lucky society where these people work and form the laws. Well, a little bit pity about those places where the laws are very restricting, limiting, and not helping the people to expand their freedom. We also should talk about the laws of the media, or the fourth power that we have. Uh, Media is very, very powerful, very influential, especially today. However, if people are misusing the power given to them or the power they have received, it means that very, very soon their power or freedom is going to become much less. So if you have certain part of the freedom and try to expand it by shrinking or limiting the freedom of others, wait for your freedom to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Of course, there are some extra things to think about, but for the first preview, it should be enough. Yes, and then we haven't much moved aside from the topic yoga and freedom. In yoga, it means freedom for all, not just for one or two special people who are maybe probably great, but this is the freedom for everybody. I have was met with the people and discussed Horse, but there are some recommendations in yoga like asceticism, when we restrict ourselves, that in some way are limiting us at a certain point of time, or yoga is telling me to be kind, but I think that this is making my freedom less, or yoga is telling me to follow my duty, and again I think it's restricting me. The problem is here with the understanding that we don't have the full picture of what is going on, and thereby we are not completely aware what is going to happen, or what is happening when we have done something, or what has happened by doing something. So as the concept of Atma is beyond the time and space, and it's the supreme logic level, remember the 3 levels we were talking about, then yes, not possible to explain with the logic all these things. Thereby we are working on the logic level, trying to get closer to the notion of Atma, going closer to the Maya, Prana, Dharma, Karma, also the principles of the yoga, and thereby also we have to work on our freedom. Yes, for some moment it might seem that our freedom has become smaller, but with the time we get the understanding, if we are following the principles properly, then our freedom is becoming more and more big. Of course, advertising fact is also important, that you would say, well, yoga is helping me a lot, and I would want to do my share and tell people that, yoga is fantastic, you have to do yoga every day and this is going to be fantastic. Your reaction to the person like that, you would say, yes, probably so, but sorry, I don't have a time, I have a rush, and I don't know when we are going to meet for the next time, and you might be deleted out of the person's Facebook account, or as the friend. This is the difficulty of advertising of something that we don't want to impose, say, you need yoga, do yoga, this is helpful. Whenever the person feels that you are trying to take some part of their freedom, and this freedom to decide whether they want to do yoga or not, they will kind of keep away. Even if they are forced for some time to pretend that they agree with you, wait for the moment that comes that they will feel that finally they can get rid of you, and this will happen quite badly for you. You might say, oh, this is my desire to tell them, but that's the same with the when you find that some person is obsessed with something, and there's this illogic or supreme logic, and some moment you are not able to differentiate which one is it. Thereby, be careful, do good, show other people, let them see how positive changes are happening with you, and they themselves will come and ask you what is making such a wonderful changes in your life and what could you recommend them. And then this might be a good time and place to share your experience, but telling yes you do, and this is going to help. Probably, and not probably, actually, for each people the way to yoga and their way of life is different. Uh, Thereby, if there was one a perfect way for the people to become enlightened or to expand their freedom to the maximum level, it would be written down, and we one by one would be there already. But as we are free, we have different prehistory, we have a lot of things in common, but there is still unique ways that we need to find in order to explore ourselves and to become free. Thereby, my best wishes for your yoga practice. Once more, this is quite difficult terminology for you to explore. Thereby, read the text material carefully, pass the tests. If you have any difficulties, please contact us and we'll be happy to hear your feedback. But pay attention to this terminology, as we might come across it quite a lot in the future. Thank you for watching. Press your likes and shares, and we'll see you soon.